Alright, we're ready to begin. Hello admission staff, my name is Vadim Hakhanov and I'm ready to present my project in Java. This is a simple two-player game of ping pong with an option for a player to compete against an AI. The game is implemented in Java using the Swing library, which allows me to create interactive graphic user interface elements. So as you can see, the project includes 7 different classes. So let me demonstrate how the application works. Let me run the application, and here is the main menu. Main menu where you can set up your game. You can choose how much points you have to score in order to win the game. Let's set it up for 2 in the beginning. So let's start with playing versus another player. By that I mean another human on the same computer. So as you can see, I control both pedals. I control blue pedal by pressing W to go up and S for going down. And I control red pedal by pressing up arrow and down arrow respectively. So let's score for each. And as you can see, everything works perfectly fine. And this red pedal scored the second goal. Here we are in the end screen, where you can either restart the game or go back to main menu. Let's assume that the blue pedal wants to take a revenge. So we restart the game. He successfully defeated the red pedal, so let's go back to main menu. So now let's try to play against an AI. Let's set it up for first the 3 points, and let's pick the AI difficulty. You have 3 difficulties here: medium, hard, easy. Actually, as you can see, the game was inspired by Broke Code's Pong game, but the original game did not include the option to play against an AI, so this modification was created by me. So let's press play versus AI, and as you can see, I control the blue pedal and the AI controls the red pedal. And the AI missed the first shot somehow, but let us not be strict towards it, as it is easy, but it's supposed to miss easy shots. Let's try to win against it. It's not supposed to be hard for me. Okay, and here we are. We defeated the AI, easy difficulty, and we can go back to main menu. Let's try the hard one. I think it will be very hard, supposedly, because it has the faster reaction time. I guess you saw that the pedal was on the other side of this screen, and the pedal still managed to react in time to catch the ball. But now it was too far and the ball was going too fast. So AI missed that shot. As you can see, with each shot, the ball starts increasing its speed. So I somehow defeated the hard AI as well, so well, this is it. So now I'll try to explain all of the code in order to prove that I created all of this code and I understand it. So let's start with the main class, but there is not much really to talk about here. So this class extends JFrame, which means that it creates the frame where the main menu is being placed in. So this constructor sets up the mainframe. It's quite self-explanatory. This is the button play versus AI. This is the combo box to set the difficulty. Game length is a spinner to set the required amounts of points to win, so on. So let me run the program to demonstrate this. And public void action perform method is the default method for action listener class, which is implemented by main class. So it listens to actions happening in the mainframe. So if I was to press the play versus AI button, it would catch this source from the button play versus AI, and it would go to the game frame, pass in these values, and set the mainframe invisible. So let me change the combo box value. So now the difficulty was updated. So now let's try to play against the player just to see. So now let's go to game frame, and there is not much to talk about here as well, because it just creates the frame. It includes two separate panels, panel AI and regular panel. It receives three values, so it checks whether the mode is AI. If it's AI, it loads the AI panel, and if it's not, then it loads the regular panel. So now let's go to the game panel, AI game panel. So this one is the most interesting class. So at the beginning the panel is being set up. It requires these methods. By the default points is 5 and the difficulty is 1. But it receives value 1 and value 2, which are the, oh my god, let it get back. It's actually the values from the main class, points and difficulty. So they are being set up here in this block of code. Actually, value 1 is the required amount of points to win, so this block of code actually fixes one problem. Let me demonstrate this problem. So someone might think that setting up the negative amount of rounds is very smart, but I'll prove that it's not. It's quite fixable. So let's imagine we lost 2 rounds, and now it still ends the game with positive amount of rounds. So basically I just multiplied it by -1. So now let's check out the methods. Public void new ball is the method to create a new ball after it was scored. Random is used to create the ball in the random place on the center line. The next method is new paddles. This one is similar to new balls. New ball. Public void adjust AI difficulty. Quite speaks for itself. And let me try to explain. Random reaction time. So random reaction time equals to random double value. Double value is the one which includes decimal numbers. So 1.2 is the distance from the paddle to the ball. So it starts reacting in this range of distance in the random range. Actually, I mistyped this. It should be this. So, same for this, as it is a quite higher difficulty, so it reacts much earlier. Not really much earlier, but 1.25 is bigger than 1.1. So it can react in the range of 1.6 to 1.25. And the hardest bot reacts in the range of 1.8 to 1.4. Just to clarify, if the range is 2, it is basically this center of the field. So the hardest bot reacts quite early compared to other two. Public void check score is the method quite speaks for itself. If the player 1 scored the required amount of points to win, game over sets to true and the end screen is being shown. And same for this. And the public void show end screen is the method to show the end screen. So this quite is simple method to create the panel with 2 buttons. So it also is connected to the action performed method, which I said earlier is the default method for action listener class. It listens to actions from the game panel. So if it gets source from the restart button, it pretty much restarts the game. It removes the end screen, it resets the score, it creates new paddles, new ball, game over, sets to false, game right now is being restarted, so on. And else if action event gets source from the main menu button, it disposes the current game window and goes back to main class. Public void paint is quite self-explanatory, draw is as well. And now the crucial method is move. Paddle 1 is controlled by player, so it is programmed in a single line. But AI, here is the whole block of code. Almost 15 lines. So, as soon as the ball on the axis X reaches the random reaction time, it starts reacting. If it makes sense to you, I hope it does. So, if paddle 2 on axis Y is lower, or actually is higher than the ball, it goes down. It sets the Y direction to the down. It moves the paddle down, as I said, because it aims for the ball. And else, if the paddle is underneath the ball, it goes up. It changes its speed to go up. And else, if the ball is not in the random reaction time area, it just stays still. It sets its direction to 0. And this one as well. And ball continues to move on its own. I hope it made sense. I hope I explained it well. So let's move on. Public void check collision is a crucial method too. So now, if ball on y-axis is less than 0, it sets the direction to negative y velocity, and so on. If the ball intersects pedal 1, it just changes the velocity to the negative. It just, what's the word? It just goes back from the pedal. And same for the pedal 2. So this block of code stops pedals and window edges at the edges of the game panel, and if the ball reaches the 0, then it counts the point for player 2, because the player 2 is located on the end of the game width, which is the width of the panel. And if the ball reaches the ending point of width, it scores for the player 1 and creates new pedals, of course. So now the last method is run. So last method is run. It's basically a loop to be able to run the game. While game over is not true, it executes this block of code in order to keep the game running. And this is the last method. I mean the class. This is not much to talk about. It just listens to whether the pedal 1 press keys or not. So the next panel is regular panel. This is just the same panel, but without the AI logic. So it's not much to talk about. So now let's look at the ball behavior. The ball class represents the ball in the game. It extends a rectangle for easy collision detection to be able to detect the collision with the paddles or window frames. So these are the main lines. They adjust the ball's velocity and cap its speed to ensure a fair and challenging experience. They are presented actually here. And public void move methods quite self-explanatory, and drawing using graphics is easy to understand too. So now the paddle class represents the paddle in the game. This is where the paddle is being drawn. This is where the paddle gets listens to whether the key is pressed or not. If the key is pressed, it adjusts the. So if player 1 presses the W, it adjusts the speed to the negative to go up. And if player 1 presses the S, here the S, it adjusts the Y direction to the positive speed in order to go down. And the same for the player 2. Player ID equals 2. And same for key released. Almost the same. So here is the move method for the human player, and here is the separate method for move AI, which receives the additional integer value, which is target Y, because the bot is supposed to catch the ball on the Y-axis. So Bot typically has the ID of 2, so here is the block of code is being executed by bot. So public void draw is quite self-explanatory as well, and the final class is score, where are the integer values being instantiated. Public score is the constructor. It actually can go like that, like this as well. It will not make any difference. It receives the values in-game width and in-game height from the game panel class. These values actually, in order to adjust to the panel. Public void reset is supposed to reset the score. Public void paint draws the center line and draws the scoreboard. And that's pretty much it. This is the overall structure of the ping pong game created in Java. Each class plays a specific role in creating the gameplay experience. So, from initializing the window in main to managing gameplay in game panel. And each element has its own class. So I hope you were impressed.